Alright, welcome. If you are seeing this video, well, yeah, you can see. Background footage is something random, just really nothing. I detach the audio, so there's none of that shit. But yes, so you saw the I'm probably not gonna do a thumbnail. Maybe. I don't know. Um, but yes, this is a concept idea for a killer called the marionette. You know, this is a if you don't remember what a marionette is, it's the I'll put a picture up of the wooden things, like those little wooden puppets. The I looked at what they're called. They're called they're just sticks, I guess, like boards. I thought they had like a fancy name like anything else did, but I guess it's not. It's just a stick or board. I mean, oh, okay, that's rambling. But it's like marionette. They are controlled by these things. So that's the idea is basically we need more unique killers. More monstrous or something that's not a franchise. Like yeah, I like the franchise things, but their powers their power usually has some sort of debuff where it's like this dear it's a fucking nightmare. It is just a nightmare dealing with like the things like the alien thing, alien singularity is not even a property. It's just they're just annoying as fuck. Their debuffs are just getting worse and worse, or like their counterplay. Fucking singularity's counterplay is literally a fucking EMP that destroys your shit. It was horrible in PTB, it was horrible in the live game. Alien, they had to stop making it where like you can get stunned by 14 fucking turrets. Or I mean, exaggerating number, but you can get stunned by multiple. Okay, but on the topic of the marionette, so the marionette would be it wouldn't be a fucking tiny thing like Victor size, but a marionette should be human size because those exist, which are I looked up are fucking terrifying. Human sized marionettes are like the wooden ones, like Pinocchio, and like dear fucking god, they are terrifying because like some marionettes are like the faceless ones, like the ones used for like art, sculpting and stuff. Those things are fucking terrifying. I think it's because they have no faces; they're just like humanoid. But yeah, so the marionette, the power would be by the strings. Using the special attack key, or I think I meant button there. Using the special attack, you activate by the strings, allowing you to control the movement of a survivor that you are facing, basically similar to the Cenobite's hook shot, right? Is that what it's called? I forget what it's called, but similar to his hook thing. So basically, when you activate it, it's basically you got to connect it, like connect shot. So similar to his attack, but it's more similar to a bit a mixture between Deathslinger's shot, like a gunshot, harpoon shot, and the Cenobite's hook thing. But when that happens, you control the movement of the person. It only works within a 7-meter radius, so it's not like this 12-meter radius where you can just stand in the background and just like blast them. I think a 7-meter area is a little bit better because if you're just from a distance and you know, like it won't have the same turn speed as it's going to have the same turn speed as the fucking Cenobite thing, so you can't really control it that well. So you got to play it smart. You know, 7 meters I feel is a better stand area, so it doesn't just drag you from an area. So it's like basically even if there's a wall, you can somewhat control them, meaning you lose control of your space until they're within your radius. Like if they're out of your 7 meter, if they're in the 7 meter radius, you can control them basically around. And be thinking, oh wait, how would they break out? Similar to the Cenobites thing with the chains, or the Death Sling, how you can wiggle out. You basically kind of pull or tear the strings off of you, so you survivor can still struggle by tearing the strings off of you, tearing the strings off of them. Yeah. So the killer basically more of like this terrifying stopping killer. So you pull them, they can fight them off. If the survivor escapes with sorry, the burp. If the survivor escapes by tearing off all the strings, they are suffered in the injured state. They go into the injured state. So there's no like penalty of them just like walking away if the killer fucks up something bad or they just suck. Because they will be labeled as very hard because luring that marionette control. But when they break out of it, they go into injured state. But while injured or downed, they get the second state, a state of the wooden curse. The wooden curse basically is a thing they got to keep on handy. It's like a mending thing, or the plagues thing. If you have too much of it, you get exposed. The wooden curse basically puts you into a massive debuff area where you're slowed down. Some of your healing actions, and healing actions, repair actions, and cleansing actions are decreased by 2%. They're decreased speed, so you got to be on the area. You can mend it by going into what do I call it? I'm going off my script here. It's hard to read because it's far from me. Pull them down. Oh, here they are. Carving tables. They work similar to the pig's box, where the pig, you just go inside, you just stick your hands. So you get to carve off the piece of wood, the curse. The more of the infection you have, the harder it is, the longer you take at it. So it's, you'd spend time at 1 or 2. There'd be multiple across the map, like the plagues area. But if you're fully exposed into the wooden curse, if it takes full corruption, you are basically put into the dying state. Not like immediately fall into the ground, no. It works as the plague thing. So marionette comes to you, hits you with a basic attack, you fall straight on the fucking ground. You're fucking on the ground. If you are on second hook, this is where the fun thing is. Marionette can more you. Works like Myers or Pyramid Head, where the marionette just appears. Idea of the more is more basic around the idea to grab you and toss you on the ground. Basically turned you into a marionette. Like a wooden style, like an idea of it just grabs you and you basically just turn to wood. You just turn to like a wooden version of a survivor, which I think would be funny as shit. Yeah, it's like their ideas, and it's probably a bad idea too. But hey, the idea of a marionette killer would be pretty sick. Ideas of an add-ons, I don't know, stuff to increase the turn radius and the movement speed of the strings, to increase how much more struggle, like percentage of the struggle speed. To hinder them from the struggle speed would be better. Some to increase other stuff. Of course, they have regular Moris too. Iridescence would be an iridescent control board. That's what they call it, control boards, the little puppet things. Iridescent control board would basically make it where they have to do difficult skill checks while pulling out the strings, or it could be for the carving box, where it works more like Merciless Storm in the carving boxes, where you got to hit like multiple things at once. You fuck up, you get hindered and are basically exposed. Even if you get them out, you're exposed fully. Even if So the map pressure for them will be really hard because you got to suffer with that shit. The wooden curse. The strings really help a lot with the idea of a puppet. A marionette. And the marionette would be a giant, I say huntress size or pyramid head size killer. They go basically float around like the nurse almost, but more like or like walk around the ground. You hear the sound of wood basically like clanking. You hear the sound like wood clanking across the map, like just go like, I don't have wood around here, like that sound. Like that sound, like wood just clanking against each other. Everything around me is metal. Wood clanking around as they walk and creak and shit. I think that would be a cool idea. Clanking around. Movement speed. This is where most basic movement speed for killers are either 4.4 ms or 4.6. I say 4.8 because by the strings you basically stand still, like Cinnabite. And like, wait, so you're at a standstill, how can you basic attack them to put them into a dying state? Basically, when they're as close, basically almost like back to back or at like face to face area within like a 2 meter, 3 meter radius, the killer can just like basically get out of the control and just bash you over the head. So like it's more of like the killer can just drag you from a certain area. So even if you're hiding behind something, if you get attached, they can. If you're hiding behind a pallet, say an example, they're hiding behind a pallet. The marionette can control you and just drag you around a pallet as you struggle. So even if there's a wall, you're kind of fucked. So you got to play smart. So there's a little bit of anti-looping with them. But it's a good idea for a concept. I don't know. I'll just have the pictures up in a bit of the with the icon and shit. Yeah, it's just a funny idea I thought of. So yeah.
Hi, my name is Reggie. I like guys.